Howdy la familia, wishing you the best. Press subscribe if you enjoy my channel. Click the button. Thumbs up. Today I want to talk to you about something that was an idea that I may just have to stretch out into a little how-to book. Let me straighten her up here a little while I'm getting started. And this is a sacred key puzzle piece to the whole awakening process of mankind and womankind, and that is the dichotomy or the battle or the duality and polarization between scarcity consciousness and abundance consciousness. So if we were made in the image of the Most High, we were given the sacred Christos powers. We are one family. We are the most powerful. So, how is it that we're all separate and lonely and isolated and getting physically and mentally more sick and ill? It's because we have bought the worldview of the mind control of the deceivers. It's because we believe in separation consciousness. This is the cause of all war, all lack, all starvation, wage slavery, people who live for their property, their land, their property taxes. There's financial slavery, creative scarcity, sexual scarcity, reproductive scarcity, idea scarcity. In the world of inventions, we had the famous Thomas Edison and the infamous Tesla, because Nikola Tesla wanted to give free energy to the world, and Edison was in line with these money changers and charging rents for electricity. So in the world of the narcissistic person, we have what's called the supply and false abundance, codependency, and vampiric. The ideas of the Illuminati, the big boys, the Bankster system, the fiat money concept is all stemming from this false abundance. Okay? Every false abundance will be torn down in the coming several years. The WEF, the plan, the lockdown, all of the Nazi descendants' plans are examples of extreme scarcity consciousness. Self-limitation, the little me, in the multidimensional level, this person or group or collective or individual thinks only about their physical body, their children, their parents, to the exemption of all else's. It's even in the marriage vows. So if you say that in your marriage vow, to forsake all others, you see how the black cube tech in the Lord of the Rings is easily feeding the demons of scarcity and the reptilians. So we have in the last several years seen how, in an attempt to maintain wealth and power, particularly when they openly worship Satan or Lucifer, the powers that be, the Dark Lord's minions, openly promote scarcity consciousness. They have no resemblance to the Christos or maybe even any connection to it, or any real connection to abundance consciousness. Whereas I myself, when I had no money or no income source, I went to the health food store at 2 in the morning and dug through the trash. Sometimes I find caches of food. That is abundance consciousness. Okay? What is abundance consciousness? It is the truth. Scarcity is the lie. The mainstream media, this idea of different nations, this idea of different races, this idea of different classes, this idea of some people are wage slave, some people have to be controlled by their house, some people will never have a house, some people are never allowed to have a family, some people can have 15 kids because they have millions of dollars. Okay, these are all concepts that are limited by the 3D reality. Okay, we're giving forth to the higher dimensional reality, and you will watch all of these concepts begin to dissolve. Okay, so what is the abundance consciousness like? It is freedom. Okay, whereas the consciousness of scarcity is slavery or vampire. The consciousness of the true abundance is embracing the truth of co-interdependence, that we're all in this together. We got to take care of each other. We're all here together on this planet. Every 3-year-old with nice parents knows. So I heard in some of the neighborhoods in England where the Rothschilds, they live in their mansions, that there are huge swaths of land where you don't know your next door neighbor. They don't know the people who live in the next mansion at all. Okay? This is the Dark Lord's conception of what, if you look around San Francisco, Santa Cruz, LA, or any big city, you find swarms of people with the hive mind who are terrified of strangers. This is not the way of the Christos. As I've said before, it is the opposite extreme. The way of abundance consciousness is where you know everyone is your family. You don't manipulate them like a con artist. Okay, that's the false idea of abundance. The inverted one's idea of abundance is what they did in 2020. Is we have so much money and power that we can make everyone an extension of ourselves, literally through these experiments or whatnot. So, whereas the true abundant person never wants to, manipulate others. So the scarcity consciousness brings about all self-limitations, obsessions, the trauma bond with the violent or mentally psychotic people, family, parents, kids, spirituality, and these poor communities, the wealthiest people in the world, being exemplary of scarcity or poverty consciousness, especially in the last few years. The Hitler, the Schwab, look, you could not be less abundant than this. Even if you can convince, the wealthiest people in the world to give you half their money, and you have, it still only proves that you are in scarcity. Now, with me, maybe my focus wasn't on finances, so here I am in financial scarcity, accepting it. But this is a temporary home for me. So, what is an example of abundance socially? Food Not Bombs. They put on the mask for a while, but some of them still. But they never stop serving the homeless every day in the face. This this here is an example of social abundance. Simply Shelter. It's these little wooden structures that they make for the homeless. Sell them for $1,000. The same principle applies here as my YouTube channel. You simply do the right thing, and say very calmly and peacefully to all of the inverted ones, I'm sorry. We cannot continue to just do the wrong thing. We have to do the right thing now, no matter what you say, no matter how much of a surrogate parent you say you have to be, no matter how much you say you're in control, when you do only mostly violence and tyranny. Okay? You know, the Tao Te Ching, it said, keep the people's bellies full. Nature is abundance. In the abundance consciousness, you identify yourself with the large me. In other words, the creator. You think of everyone as your family, all spirits, whether they're evil, ghosts, or respectful archangels, masters. In the depolarization phase, we have to let go of the objects of others and the deceiver that causes our perpetual perceptual enslavement, and remember what we've learned from the media, from the cults, from the mainstream religion, the history, and our personal habits that can poison us. Again, this is shadow work through perceptual mind control, slavery, and replace that with perceptual freedom through this belief in abundance consciousness. Is very dear to my heart. It saved my life a half a dozen times at least. Okay, the reptilians are all about taking and pretend altruism. When someone is born again or an enlightened master, they're all about giving and giving to all and sharing this vibration of oneness, such as Yeshua felt with everyone, working and receiving. Ultimately, people, we all have to learn as soon as we can, to come to the balance of effort, work and play, service to others. The nature of original mankind is service to others. The nature of the dark ones is always service to self. Yes, as we've seen in the last year, those who are truly born again, are enlightened, want to serve all. Those who are fully possessed by the dark forces want to steal or take or con it all. Okay? The conclusion I have for you is this is a beautiful, abundant creation and a chance to whatever ability you are able to participate, to use your free will to choose to create a harmless, abundant, beautiful reality for yourself. And if you don't like it, that it's not music, then watch someone else or unsubscribe. Because every gaslighting comment, every complaint is only a description of some limitation in that person's mind. And if you want music today, maybe go watch Karini Had a Lumpy Head with a bunch of men dancing in tights. What about the California housing crisis when it pertains to this idea of enlightenment or abundant consciousness? Well, it's all bullshit and it doesn't exist in and where and amongst those who understand these words I've said in this broadcast, okay? It's only sustained by obedience to the false or cowardice or afraid of their Illuminati local masters, hypocrisy or social or financial bribery. The solution for that is to have the most courage and unity, oneness conscious we can, like Dave Rodriguez, to stand up in Satan's face when they lock down the world and say, I'm going to give everyone a hug. Yimby, the solution is to have the self-respect and discernment to choose in every day, every situation, as much as you can, the consciousness of abundance, which is the truth of the Almighty living within us, that I do not need 6 eyes or even 4 eyes. I only need 2 eyes or 3 eyes, with my 3rd eye fully awake. As an abundant being, I share this message with you. So subscribe and like and Share the abundance, people. I love you.